Hey Jags, welcome back. My name is KJ, and today we will be talking with Miss Guise, our principal.
Nice to be here.
So what I'm hearing is we're gonna have this new door system.
Correct.
Right? Can you give us a little information about that?
Yes. So this is part of the work of the bond, which the voters voted for, and we're very happy about it. You've seen some of that work with the new turf field that we celebrated last week, which is so awesome. But one of the things that the bond offered was security upgrades, okay? And that comes in two forms. Century is lucky enough to be the first school to have some of this work done. That means that we have new cameras that will also be added to academic halls, and a lot of students have viewed this as a positive thing and said that that will help make our schools safer, and we feel good about that too. But that also said that we would be making secure more entrances to the school, okay? Basically, schools have been kind of casual about propping doors open, about access, and about egress, which is leaving, okay? And our goal with this bond was to make our schools safer and tighten up some practices, both adult and student, about how to access a school, okay? And the goal for Hillsborough is to have these school entrances be safer, so that we're restricting not just anybody can just walk in anymore. Okay? And there are only certain places where people can get in and out. And that's the goal of this work.
And then I remember also talking with you about how if you had the door open more than, was it 60 seconds?
Yeah. We are going to have it set up so that if a door is open for more than a certain period of time, and it's going to be pretty short, that some sort of alert or alarm will go to the security team, which would be administrators and security, so that we can come check that door right away and make sure that it is closed and that make sure that it's not being propped open for something it shouldn't be. That's going to change how we address students propping doors open. Okay, and what has been a practice is no longer going to be such a practice that we can use, because we're going to know right away if that door is staying propped open. That also means that there are going to be some cameras on those doors, and we may be working to address this and change some behaviors that we've had happen in the past. So it's going to mean being prudent. We've talked to students before about opening doors for other students and opening doors for adults. Even if they think they know the adult, we're really saying, don't do that anymore, okay? It's really not a safe practice. There are plenty of places for people to come in the school, and we will let them in, okay? But we need to know who's going in and out, and it's important. Okay, so that will be something that we are working on our practices on, and we are asking, because it does make for a safer school. There have been situations where people have been in schools, including here at Century, including this year, who should not have been on our campus, or who should not have been on that campus that led to unsafe things, okay?
So what would be some consequences if someone opened the door for maybe a teacher or a student?
Well, a teacher with a badge is going to be able to wave their way in anyway, because their badges will wave over a sensor device. Additionally, for PE kids who are out on the field, we'll have a limited number of badge passes. There'll be blank badges so that they can wave their way in if for an emergency purpose they need to get back in the building, because that door by the wrestling room will be badged. So it'll have a sensor on it that can be badged. However, the door back to the band room, that's not going, that in the band room proper, that's going to be armed, and that will be on a different set of sensors. That may not necessarily be badged. However, the double doors for loading and unloading of band equipment down the long hall, that will be. So we've worked really hard to try to be sensible about this and about where the entrances and exits need to be, and also to be fair with students about coming in and leaving. We know that we only have 2 security guards. We also know we have students who have late arrival, okay? So what we've decided to do to be as fair to students as possible is really be overt about announcing that for the first 10 minutes of second period, and before second period, there'll be a 20-minute window. We'll have somebody on that north student door from the parking lot so that people can the security will be able to let them in. You'll need your ID to get in, okay? So this gives students a reason that you're gonna need your IDs, okay? But security will be there to let you in. If you're outside that 10-minute window, there's a camera and a speaker there. You can buzz the door, the reception in the main office. But they're gonna wanna see your ID too, and they may say you're gonna have to walk around, okay, to the front entrance. So prepare yourself for that. If you miss that window for late arrival, expect to have to park and then walk in the main entrance. It's going to change some traffic patterns. Additionally, for staff, people used to be able to park in the parking lot and go to those middle doors by the teacher offices. I'm sure you've seen teachers walking up. Not so much anymore. Their badges won't get them in that way. So, but they can go in the north main door and the south main door by the gym and by the auditorium. And that's the way they'll have to go in and out from now on. But let me also be clear, that's about coming into the building. Anybody can get out of the building because that's a safety issue. So those doors are not like, once the locks are secured, nobody can get out. Okay, that's not how this works. Okay? Other questions?
So for sports,
Yeah.
you know how like Takahashi has, morning workouts and like football workouts.
Good question.
How would that, function? How would that work? Is there a time period of like it open, it closed?
Yes. So what we're going to use is we have a meeting every week that's called an operations meeting where all the members of the building look at not only the JAG Weekly but the upcoming calendar of events on our school. Century keeps a very complete calendar of activities of how the building is used and checked out and what events are happening. That calendar and what's called Facilitron, which is a program that's used in every building in the district, we keep pretty accurately of events that are occurring, and the doors and the security, the main doors for the building, will be cued to that. So if there's a practice happening, it'll be coded that way, okay? So the doors might be open at that time. Okay, or the coach will come in and they'll wand themselves in with their badge and then it'll be unlocked during that period, okay? But it won't do it until the coach has come to supervise. Make sense? Yeah. Okay, so it's gonna be pretty intelligent, and in some ways it really helps us keep track of our keys. Because there are sometimes people who work for us and leave, or volunteers who are, background checked, but, it really, we can just deactivate a badge very quickly. A key lasts a lot longer. In some ways, this is much more secure for our building, and that's a good thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay. Let me know if I'm being any confusing at all. It's really important that we're clear.
And then, when will this all be like in? Is it next year,
Right.
or this year, or like?
Well, and that's where it's good that we're the first, and also interesting that we're the first,
Yeah,
okay?
is my function on it?
We're kind of the test run for all the other high schools because we're the first.
Yeah.
So what's gonna matter for us is to hear from staff, students, and parents on how this is going, okay? Because we're the test run. We are going live right at the end of April, the beginning of May. That last week of April, right before, May starts. We believe the plan is, originally it was to go live on the 15th of this month, but they weren't ready, and I don't want us to start before we're ready, okay? So what we're doing now is we're going live at the end of this month, because we'll be ready. And that'll give us time to communicate pretty well with parents. This is my first communication with students. There will be more, like I said. The goal is to kind of have a list for what every student should know. I don't know whether we're gonna I'm gonna ask you guys to help me with another one of these live that we can show during access period. And then we can bullet point a list in something like that for kids. But something that's really clear with students, and then I'll communicate it out with parents and on the website. But we want to be absolutely clear what students should know, what parents should know, and then what our community should know. Just have that. We started with a communication with staff, and sure enough, it wasn't perfect, but we've gotten good feedback from the staff on how to make it better. And I don't expect it to be perfect, But I expect us to do the best we can to make this work. And May and June is a really good trial time because there's a lot going on. So it'll be a really good test run. I'll probably interview with the leadership class too to get some feedback from them because they're pretty honest with me. So that'll be important to me as well. And we may put out a survey to students during access period sometime in May, or teachers can do it and I'll just send the link and if they have time. I don't want to take time from academic classes. May is AP testing, it's Jag Fest, it's the week before graduation for seniors. That's we know what May is. It's exciting and fun and it's the culmination, but it is also a busy time. So it's a really good set of test runs for us. We're gonna learn a lot. And it's kind of an honor to be the guinea pig for the district, because I don't think they'd have done it if we weren't ready. So I think you guys should take that as a compliment, that they believe that you guys can handle it.
Yeah.
So take that as a positive.
Yeah.
It is. So, other questions?
What happens? Well, my bad. What happens if it doesn't function right? Like it doesn't how you have all these cameras and all that doesn't work, and then cards don't work.
Well, the cards will work.
Okay.
It's already being used at the district office. So it's been in use already successfully in at least one big system that has a lot of coming and going. The question will be, how much support will we have if we notice a malfunction or a system issue? We're gonna have a lot of support. Their goal is to make this work. So actually, in the last couple times when we've noticed things like, hey, have you considered this or what have you considered? We've had people out here ready to problem solve with us and consider that and make changes like that. So I think the goal of this bond work is a commitment to voters, to parents and to students to make schools safer, and they want to make this work. So I think we'll be very responsive if we notice a system issue. And our plan is to continue to build and make it better. So it has to work for Century. So we may see some shifts in some systems, but that's normal when we have a big system change anyway. We're not going to do anything that's a big surprise. But do expect the ID badges to matter in May. Because if you're outside the building and trying to get in during the school day, they're going to want to know you belong here. Okay? So that badge matters. Have it. Okay?
All right.
Make sense?
Yeah, that clears up everything. So, thank you so much.